Well, afternoon, zombies. How's our emotional state and how are we sleeping today? Yeah, smoky outside. It's been that way earlier this morning because of the fires from Northern California due to the prevailing winds we've got right now are blowing this stuff down to us in Southern California and smoking us out. Antelope Valley's been going through it, but hardly anybody else has been mentioning about it online that should have. This stuff is smoking us out a great deal. I've been trying to keep track with the weather guys about this damn shit. So right now it's 1:54 p.m. and it's a Saturday for the 23rd of July 2022. And right now there's a Comic Con going on in San Diego and they're having a great gay old time of breathing. But unfortunately, us up here in Southern California, in the northern region of it, we're getting smoked out left and right throughout the desert regions, and not to mention part of the great Central Valley of California. Because Northern California, closer to the Yosemites at this point over here, is ground zero for the fire, and it's still working on most of it to get it contained. But there's another fire popped up. They call it the Oak Fire, and it's giving us a lot of issues. So, and again, other fires that Cal Fire is still contending with right now. So yeah, we're really having a hell of a time right now. Yes, it is. How am I doing specifically besides trying to make sure that I got air in this place and my dog is not going to be suffocating as much? We're surviving. And because this is a grief log, I have to report another session of it again. I'm not complaining about it, I am just mentioning it. Because grieving is what I do now. When school starts, I'm going to be a student and I'm going to be a griever. I'm going to be a grieving student or a student griever, but it means I'll be a student griever. I'm studying grieving. There's no way of studying grieving unless you go through the course yourself, which means you have to lose somebody and then you're going through the emotions left and right. So I don't think there's no student of anything regarding that. But regarding a grieving student, that's a different story altogether. I'm not grieving over students. I'm a student who's grieving over family. But I'm a student and I'm grieving. But I still study. Go figure. Other than that, I can go over politics today. I can go over how the crime rate has been rising up in the Antelope Valley even worse. In fact, I've been noticing it's been rising ever since the temperatures have been increasing left and right. We got more shootings, we got more police beatings, we got more police shootings on people who are unarmed again, and the we're getting into the news media left and right. And concluded for about a month of the 9/11 commissions, actually not the 9/11 commissions, but the January 6th commissions, and they'll start it up in August. But they just wanted to get a vacation going for about a couple of weeks so they can breathe and gather more data so they can have another series of more meetings happening. Not to mention, we're still dealing with a lot of those meetings and the after effects. Apparently, there have been some idiots camped out in Washington, D.C., outside Congress itself. And what they're trying to do is egg on people, get them on camera and get them on video so they can embarrass the living crap out of them, so they can make points. And of course, you have the righteous people of the extreme left going nuts over the extreme right. And they're using each other for fodder at this point. I think I talked about this one a while ago. It's just never ending on this one. The reactions concerning about how the politicians are acting and reacting. One particular politician who tried to give a high sign to the protesters before all the fun started, is shown to be embarrassed as hell as he's running through Congress trying to save his own skanky ass, and it becomes fodder throughout the internet. And yet he goes over to some useful conservative group and tries to show how brave and tough he was. Meanwhile, he's being made a fool left and right. This is what they do for each other. They compliment each other. A few people actually get so righteous and angry at this point over here, including the youth trying to fire up all the Democrats they can, because we have to show how evil and demonstrative the GOP is. We're stepping into the quagmire of politics, aren't we? Well, I've been into the quagmire of politics for a while. I just haven't been dousing myself entirely into the damn stuff. But just studying it off and on, and just not as an academic pastime or an academic requirement. I've been watching and learning and left and right how these people are acting and reacting. Listening to all the pundits and all the reporters, what they're talking about, and trying to read what they're writing about. It's a lot of information. It's a lot of overkill. It's a lot of brain overload. And how we're treating each other right now is piss poor, if I can say that. We haven't found any common ground. There is no common ground. We're still at war with each other. So basically, we got a civil war without the firearms. But give it time, we're going to have the firearms. We almost had it over at January 6th. Apparently, it was mentioned that the Proud Boys had brought over a stash, kept it off site, but ready to go at a moment's notice. And they got themselves caught, and now they're getting embarrassed by Congress, and now they're getting embarrassed by the public media. But they're going to hold their heads proud and high because they are egomaniacs. Pride is their trademark, so pride goeth before it falls. I wonder how their faces are going to be feeling after when he's falling them forward, splat. They're pancaked on each other. Oh yeah, real fun. But what about guys like me watching on the sidelines? Well, I'm not selling tickets just yet or popcorn. I'm not making any money off of this damn shit. Everyone else is trying to make a big name for themselves at this point. They want their name. They want to build up the egos at this point. I got a situations regarding my own damn personal issues here. I don't need to deal with this kind of crap. Yeah, I talk about the damn crap because it helps me focus on other things besides the emotional grieving at this point. And it may affect me down the road. People just don't look at some things actually do have interconnection with each other. They just don't see it. But then again, they choose not to see it. They choose what they see. So I can't present the picture to them if they can't see the damn mosaic in front of their face. And it's like what God does with his own plans these days. In the days of man. He's got great plans, but he just doesn't show it because, unfortunately, we're not that intelligent enough or even kind-hearted enough to understand the plan is more grander than anything else than we understand, because we're not allowed and we're not capable of such a thing. Yes, there are flies going around this place here. Summer brings out these little bastards and I have to deal with them in little pearlies. Bug war. Other than that, dealing with the triples, getting worse and worse. As I said before, the fires that we've been having up are going to get even worse. Especially when the other tinder that hasn't been burned yet is going to get burned alive. If we actually get any rain coming up, we may get some watershed, or else we're going to be losing the topsoil left and right and lose the watershed. That's what makes me so worried about what the hell's going on these days. But then again, I should have been an activist and screaming and yelling my head off like everybody else. And still nothing is done. So I just have to stay on the sidelines, try to do the best I can, help somebody else with the grieving process if necessary, and wait for all hell to break loose. If revelation's coming, let it come. I'm not going to stress over the damn thing. They can stress over it. They can freak out. They can panic like crazy, run throughout the streets trying to kill each other in the name of God. I'm going to be sitting back and cowering like crazy with my dog in a room and just waiting for all the damn insanity to stop. Unless, of course, we're going to be talking about it's going to be continuing left and right, and then what we're going to be going through at this point, which is a lot more stuff than we counted on. Some friends I've actually tried to talk to let them know about this channel. If they can see back in some of the videos I've done, if they've actually got the time, then they can try to understand why things are the way they are over here. I didn't ask for all of this. I didn't say and come up with a plan that I am going to do this and I'm going to do that. No, I just did it out of my own damn sanity's relief. I needed to control my sanity again. I needed to find out if I was still sane or not, or actually losing my mind to everything. So there's the reasons why I do these videos in the first place, to talk about my grief, to talk about my issues in the head, and maybe in the hopes to help somebody else out who's still feeling the overwhelming sense that everything else is beyond them. Nobody else can understand us, and maybe they can just say, somebody out there actually understands. Yeah, because nobody on the outside will understand unless they actually go through the damn shit, and they're under the stigma that nobody talks about stuff. Nobody talks about what's going on in their damn head. Nobody talks about what's going on in their heart. They say the issues and they talk about that. But are they talking about how much they miss family members or friends that have died off tragically, horribly, or just died naturally and peacefully? Do they ever talk about being caregivers for a time and how much emotionally charging that is? How much it changes them inside and out? For some people, make it into a career of it, while a few of the people just try to do it because they need to take care of that person. Not for the money, but because they matter. And there's one word I'm still trying to avoid left and right, but there's implications I've already thrown out on this one. So yeah, naturally I'm going to be primed for this one, for another session. I've seen the images of Robin Williams on social media, and it's been driving me nuts. To the point where the tsunami kicked in, and then the depression tries to kick in. And in times like this, it'd be easier for me just to put a cover over my head and just cower on the bed and just not deal with this shit. Here I am talking about it. It's not a bravery at this point over here. It's trying to get this shit off my damn chest so I don't go insane. I've got enough stuff over here to drive me nuts. I don't need another thing that's going to be activating me into another crying session at this point. Now, my dog right now is trying to bug me into going outside into that zone of heat and of smog. I'm going to have to dig around here to see whether or not I've actually got my filter ready to go. And if I got any spare filters, because if I don't, I'm going to have to get me some more. Because that air sucks out there. And for the family, or actually people who are actually watching who actually know me, I'm surviving, guys. Some days aren't so good. That's why you don't see me as much. That's why you see me inside all the time, or actually don't see me outside. It's because I probably am inside, just dealing and coping and struggling. And at times I wanted to go outside and shop. Go out to the liquor store, walk in early in the mornings like I usually do, and talk to the workers over there at the nearby liquor store. Because I had friends. I hope I still do. But I gotta tell them I'm still going through what I'm going through. And it's not that easy. None of it is. So I try to keep myself busy somewhat. I just got another month to go before school starts. And during that time, I'm going to need every one of my damn wits and every damn brain cell I've got to get through it. After that, I don't know. Am I scared? Yeah. Am I freaked? Yeah. Am I hanging in there? I'm surviving. That's the only thing I can say. Some days are good days when emotionally I'm functioning, and other days I'm not. And today was almost that kind of a day for it. I'm not. I've dealt with anger issues. I'm still dealing with that somewhat. But I'm also dealing with the deep pain and loss again. When it hits, it hits. I hadn't said the word, but there's been a lot of implications, so I know inside my brain it's set up again. All it needs is something to activate it. Something innocuous. Something innocent. Something that looks like maybe someone I know who I cared a great deal about, or a picture. And then here we go again. I can't deal with it. Hair sucks. Inside here, air sucks. What else is new? If you happen to smell any weird smells coming out of here, it's probably my dog. But if there's going to be any more decomp, I just hope I'm alive during that time. Could mean I hadn't had a shower in about a week or two. Disgusting as it may be heard on here, it's just a way of me trying to break the ice a bit. This isn't easy for me to put on these things left and right, but it seems like it is. Like I was born for it. Not really. I broadcast because I have to. I broadcast because it's necessary. I talk to people about it. And right now, I need to get me some lunch before my stomach drives me crazy, but I got my little dog looking at me very strangely at this point, so I gotta take care of her. Talk at you folks later.